Welcome back, everybody. 5 months after News Channel 5 investigates raised questions about the testing practices of Metro schools, the district's internal review is now complete.
It found News Channel 5's chief investigative reporter Phil Williams sat down with the school officials to ask how hard they were really looking at the things they're trying to find.
There's very clearly not a systemic, coercive plan to do this across the district. The numbers just don't support that.
The internal review began.
True games would involve making sure that every student tested.
After 2 whistleblowers went public with allegations that some low-performing high schools were pulling struggling students from critical classes with end-of-course exams that are used to judge the performance of the schools. While the internal review did not find a district-wide problem,
y'all ready to get started?
Officials did single out Hunters Lane High School. They found an unusually high number of questionable moves, what they called outliers. In those cases, students were pulled from Algebra 2 and English 3 during the second semester. They were then placed into credit recovery to study on a computer, which meant they did not have to take the tests that are so critical to the school's scores. Is there a problem at Hunters Lane?
I have trouble with the word problem. When we did the internal review, basically we were looking at numbers and trying to show what we found. The whys of what we found was really beyond the scope of what we've done in the report.
This is making the test results different than what they would have been.
Former guidance counselor Kelly Brown told us that at Pearl Cone High School, the principal ordered certain students to be pulled from classes with end-of-course exams, but that plan failed when a counselor forgot to follow the principal's orders. Paul Chingus led the internal review. Did you interview guidance counselors?
No, we did not. We went.
Why not?
Well, first of all, we found very few students that fit the pattern or that we were looking at.
Our investigation also uncovered allegations that some struggling students were encouraged to skip the ACT college prep test that's supposed to be given to all 11th graders. The review found only 85% of 2014 graduates ever took the test. In 2015, that number dropped to 83.9%.
If you have a high schooler that is not college bound and you're giving the test on Thursday and it's a 5-hour test and they don't come to school, it's a real challenge.
Did you ask whether principals had been telling students that they could skip that day?
We did not interview people for this. We did not go out and ask. This was not an investigation. This was basically a review of data.
Still, based on that data review, officials say they will make policy changes to ensure that in the future there is no doubt about the integrity of the process. Meanwhile, they await the results of a separate investigation by the Tennessee Department of Education. Phil Williams, News Channel 5 investigates.
Phil, thank you. You can read the Metro Schools internal review on our website at newschannel5.com.